What's going on, everybody? I'm Primalliquid and I've got an exciting video for you guys here. Now, you've already guessed what it is from the title, but before we get on to that, let me just address an elephant in the room. Yes, I look like this now. The easiest way to explain it is we hit a goal on stream and this is the result, but hey, it'll grow back, right? Anyway, let's actually get into the meat of today's video, shall we? I am going to be showing you guys an overview of the FF12 randomizer, including how to install it. And let me just say, I've tested this randomizer for about 5 minutes now. It's already by far the most batshit insane randomizer I've ever done, okay? It's like a combination of the FF7, FF13, and FF9 randomizer. It is freaking nuts, so you are going to want to play this, okay? Or you could always watch me playing it, which I'm going to be doing on stream. So if you want to watch that, then head on down in the description, find a link to my Twitch channel, and come and watch it. There will be a playthrough on YouTube, but that'll be a different seed, and that will also be in the future. So if you want to see my first ever experience with the randomizer, come on over to Twitch. So, what do you need for this randomizer? Well, first of all, you actually need the randomizer mod itself. So, how do you get it? Well, first of all, let's just change screen right now. So I will have a link to this down below in the description of this video. If you don't know how to get into the description with YouTube's new horrible layout, I will simply quickly show you. So if you are, whoopsie. So, if you are actually on the normal default view, that is fine. Just below the text where the, the views and the date is, they've changed the description now. All you have to do is click more. If you're on the theater mode, so the big old screen, again, basically the same thing, if I just show less there, it is still right there next to the views and the description. Just hit more, and that opens up the entire description for you guys. There will be a link here to the mod. So once you click that link, it will take you to this page on Nexus Mods, which is where you can actually get the mod. So this page right here will actually give you a little bit of information on the mod, what it changes, and things like that. So if we just very quickly go over it, also I will say they are working on a new randomizer, which is an open world one, so you could literally go anywhere you want in the game, basically. But that is not finished yet, so we're not going to be talking about that mod in this video. That's going to be a good while away for now. So, currently randomized, and all can be configured on or off and adjusted with sliders and smart flags. We will look at everything that changes momentarily. Item gambit and loot costs, so literally, everything's cost has changed. Equipment costs, armor effects, weapon charge time, status effects, elemental, magic, technique, enemy abilities, guild value, MP cost, charge time, and status effects. Everything's randomized, okay, literally everything. Including the license boards, random board layouts, random LP costs. It is literally insane, okay? Literally insane. Shops and bazaars, completely random, so you could literally just buy like an Excalibur in the first store in the game if you get lucky for 1 gil. Or you could have a dagger in the first store that costs like 500,000 gil. It's literally luck of the draw, but that is the enjoyment of these randomizers. Starting character items and stats, you can randomize all that. Enemy stats, drops, elemental weaknesses, immunities, and even their abilities. And let me just say this, alright? In the 5-minute test I did, just to make sure the randomizer was working before this, Rex died to an Ultima from an enemy soldier. So yeah, it gets insane, okay? It gets really insane. Treasures are randomized, so all rewards are randomized. Rewards in the story, side quests, and hunts, also randomized. Music, but we'll get onto that in a minute, because that's actually a little bit different. But yes, you can randomize the music as well. And we can also skip the Gambit tutorial, because yay! Right, okay, so we've just gone over the very brief mod change there. If you do want to download the mod, just hit files, and then you can either mod manager download or just manual download. Honestly, I'd say just manual download. Now, this right here is the actual randomizer itself. This is the one you want. If you want to randomize the music as well, you are going to also need this optional file, which is the music pack volume. Now, this includes 5 tracks from all the main FFs and some spin-offs and sequels, and it is compatible with version 1.80, 1.80.1, and 1.8.2 of the randomizer. So, it's completely up to date, basically. Now, in my stream, I'm not going to be using this just because of copyright issues and things like that. But if you want FF tracks from, you know, the other FF games, then you can also download. I will show you how to install that. But once you have that, let's actually look at what you need to do to install it, shall we? So if I just very quickly load that up now. So right here, this is the randomizer file right here. This is what you download. Now, straight off the bat, I've already done this, but I'll show you guys. What you want to do the moment you download it is first hit properties. So right click it, then all the way down the bottom, hit properties. Now, with Windows 10, Windows 11, all that shit, whenever you download a file, chances are it is going to be blocked. So what you need to do is load up properties, and then down here, like at the very bottom of properties, there will be a little tick box that says unblock. Simply tick that box and then hit apply and you are done. Once you've done that, all you then need to do is extract the files. So simply right click, extract to wherever you want them to go. And once that is done, you are left with this little box. So we're going to load that up. Now right here we have a few different things. We have the randomizer, RP processor, no idea what that is, and text patcher. No idea what that is. So, what we need to do for the actual randomizer, however, is we're just going to load up FF12 randomizer. It's literally as simple as double clicking. And then this right here is what we are given. And let me just say, okay, this is freaking nuts. In fact, I'm going to, like, not have that full screen because it's actually hard to see. So, straight off the bat, there are a lot of things on the first screen. Let's just slowly go through everything, and then we'll also, you know, explain what they all do in that. So, on the first screen, you've got some default randomizers, okay? These are all default different randomizers. So, if you don't want to go in and individually change the settings, you don't have to. You can literally just choose one of these if you want, and it'll change everything for you. So, there is somewhat normal. Mainly values like cost and stats are modified slightly, so it's like a small randomizer, you know, a few things are shuffled, not too much, you know. Then you have controlled random, which is the one that they recommend, where basically everything, well, nearly everything is randomized, but it's limited. So most flags have smart turned on, so things are less truly random, so, you know, you're not going to get hit by ultimate at the very start of the game with Rex like I did. But yeah, it's more of a balance. It's probably going to be harder than the original game, but still pretty fair. And then you have these two, basically. Chaotic Random and But Why. Both of these are pretty much the same. The only difference is the level of randomness gets further and further. The smart flags are also somewhat turned off. So you could end up getting ultimate to the face at the very start with one of these. Chances of that happening? Low. Well, low on chaotic random. Hang on, I've got something in my eye, dude. I've got like an eyelash stabbing me. See, this is the joys of a randomizer, guys. Even my own body wants to hurt me right now. It's like we're on the but why setting in real life, you know. Right. So again, you know, these are just, you know, like default ones. You can do this for an easy one-click button randomizer if you wanted to. You can also change the flags entirely if you want, so you can have like completely random flags. So that'll be things like, you know, story progression and things like that. Or you can turn off all the flags. And then there's the all button, which is unplayable, literally impossible, pretty much. I don't know if it's actually impossible, but yeah, it's probably like just like a mega ultra hard mode randomizer, because it does basically stop you from buying anything. All shops are disabled, and you're forced to only play as Rex or Vaughn. And well, yeah, have fun with that. So let's get into the meat of things, shall we? So first off, we have the music. Now, this is if you actually want to install that music pack that I showed you guys before. You can do that. All you need to do is click add. It'll load up your typical file manager. Just select the file and you will add it to this list. And then you just need to tick include new tracks, basically. So, one of the things you can do if you just want the OG12, you know, the OG12 music, if you want that randomized music. That's literally all. However, it is only the remastered. It is only the remastered. Okay, so do keep that in mind. Also, one of the things I forgot to mention is the seed value up here. If you want to create your own, like if you actually want to load my seed, for example, from the stream, you can do that. Like, all you need to do is literally type in the seed number. I've not generated it just yet. We will be doing that live on stream. So if you want the same seed value as me, come over to the stream. I will give you guys the siege value. That's not a problem. Right, okay. So we've done music, we've done seed, we've done the presets. Let's move on to equipment. And this right here is where things start getting really freaking insane, okay? Really freaking insane. So straight off the bat, randomize equipment costs. So this is essentially what you can randomize for, like, you know, stores and that, basically. So we're just going to move that all the way up to 100%. So the equipment is now literally, like, just 100% random. We could get a dagger for 1 gil, we could get Excalibur for 1 gil, we could get a dagger for 500,000. It's random. The most common cost, though, is around 4,000 gil. That's the most common. We can randomize the charge time. So this is, again, you know, how long your attacks take to charge. If you have that all the way up, though, this could basically be like 50 seconds. Like, something could end up taking 50 seconds. So keep that in mind. You can randomize the attack power. So, you know, you could start off with a dagger with 400 attack if you want to, basically. You can randomize your armor defense and your magical resist, evasion and magic evasion on shields, ammunition attack power, so that's like your bullets, your arrows, things like that. You can randomize elements. Now, this element is actually a little bit different, okay? This is not an element for the weapon. This is actually an element that your weapon will boost. So with this on, if I get like lightning on a sword, for example, that sword does not deal lightning damage. It will boost my lightning damage, okay? So do keep that on mind. And then we can also randomize status effects. So randomize the statuses on equipment, basically. And then we also have a couple more, which is randomize special effects, which is, you know, like we could end up getting a leather cap with ribbon, or we could get a ribbon with nothing. It's luck of the draw. And then, of course, there is shuffle attribute bonuses as well. And then right next to that, we have randomized attribute bonus values. We can move that all the way up. Now, this is a multiplier, okay? This is a multiplier, not an addition. So basically, what this means is this could literally double the stats, or it could half the stats of equipment, okay? Keep that in mind, because this could make things quite difficult. And then, of course, if you really want to challenge, you can completely disable armor and accessories in the game as well if you want to. Chances are, no one's going to do that, but it's there if you want to. Items. So, randomize gambit costs, randomize item costs, and randomize loot costs. So, again, just completely randomize shops, things like that, like buy value and sell value. And then, for another challenge, you can literally just disable items in their entirety. We have abilities, so randomize usable magics, randomize traps. So yes, traps in the game, you can randomize them, okay? They could appear anywhere, they could be different traps, it doesn't matter. You can just completely randomize them. So if usable magics, it's basically just going to be essentially like there are new spells and things like that, but shops will sell different things, yada yada yada. We can also make them AoE, so 100% chance for single target abilities to become AoE on the max value, and it also changes their range, basically, like their range is random. Randomized charge time, so again, completely random. MP costs, completely random, and ability costs, completely random. So the ability cost is like how much you buy them from shops, basically. And then, of course, we can change their elements, their status effects, and we can also change enemy abilities. So yes, enemy abilities can be changed as well, and things get freaking nuts with that. Like I said, I got ultimate to the face by one of the gods in Rexy's tutorial, okay? It was pretty funny, though, I'm not gonna lie. And we can also increase the enemy power. I do believe that is 1,000%, that is 1,000%. So in other words, we could make enemy abilities literally 10 times stronger. Because why not, right? And then, again, we have the challenge flags where it's no magic and no techniques at all in the game. Characters. So, we're going to go just randomize character stats here and randomize starting stuff. So, this is essentially, you know, characters will start with whatever stats, doesn't matter, and then their starting equipment will also be changed as well. Now, there are some challenge flags here, which is solo characters, so that's what I said earlier, you can only play as Vaughn or Rex, and no starting stuff, so basically you literally only have a weapon. That's all, basically. And then this is kind of bugged, as you see here, some bugs still, where you can actually swap where main characters and guests actually appear. So, you know, we could end up getting Bosch or, like, Thrawn, like, at the very start of the game, basically. But, again, random, and it is still buggy, so do be careful with that. And you can also change Rexy's starting level, but we're not going to do that. Okay, on to enemies. Now, enemies, we can literally just completely change all of their stats. Not going to do that because that would get incredibly unfair very, very fast if, you know, you just come up against something that has max speed. Because these random stats, okay, these random stats are not based on a type of enemy, they are on an individual enemy. So you could have two wolf enemies at the starting area, you know, the Sand Sea. One of them could have mega low multipliers, and the other could be Yizamat, basically. So I'm not going to mess around with these. That is a little unfair. What I am going to do, though, is we're going to randomize LP, so completely random LP, and we're going to randomize experience. Now, straight off the bat, both of these are multipliers again, okay? These are multipliers. So we can either get 10 times more LP, or we could get 10 times less LP. We could get 10 times more EXP, or 10 times less EXP. So look at the draw, you know, you could get a lot, or you could get nothing. It's incredibly, you know, up there. We can also make trial mode harder by making enemies basically get a 2% stat boost. But I'm not gonna do trial mode in my own run, so I'm gonna leave that. One of the things we can do as well, we can completely randomize enemy names. Okay, enemy names completely randomized, so that's gonna lead to some funny situations, and we can randomize the size. Now, the size of the enemy is based on the stats, okay? So what that essentially means is, you know, if their stats are pretty high, the enemy is going to be pretty big, basically. And this just lets you know when an enemy is really, really freaking dangerous, pretty much. And then below that, we have random drops, steals, poaches, monograph drops, monograph drop rates, monograph type, canopic jar type, canopic jar rates, and canopic jar drops. So it's literally going to be full-blown random with everything from the enemies here, okay? Like, we could get anything. In the test that I was doing earlier, I killed a god, I got Protectiger. Like, that's as Rex, by the way. I got Protectiger from killing a god, pretty much. That's the level of randomness. It's like, no potion, no high potion. I got Protectiger, okay? And normally that's a pretty late spell, to be fair. There is also a challenge flag where all enemies only give you 1 CP. Don't recommend that, because that's going to freaking suck. And we can also randomize the enemy's element as well, just for added shits and giggles. Because why not? So, status effects. Now, the status effects, I'm not 100% sure on what this actually changes, so I left this blank. So on equip, on hit, and immune. I am going to assume that this is basically just a case of like what can roll on your equipment, basically, and what can roll on enemies. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually just gonna allow all of this. So, you know, we could get slow on a weapon, we could get faith on a weapon, and so on and so forth, basically. So I'm going to do that, and then on hit is, again, you know, we could inflict a debuff on an enemy, or we could buff an enemy, you know? That's what I mean, like, it's really, really random. So I'm gonna, like, just enable all of this, basically, and I'm gonna do the same for immune as well. So enemies and me can also be immune to any of this. I am gonna leave the weights all as one, though, just so, you know, they all have pretty much the exact same chance, okay? So now every status in the game is available on pretty much every piece of equipment in the game. So things are going to get weird, to say the least. And then we have the shops. So randomized shops. Now, again, challenge flag, you can disable all shops in their entirety. That is fine. No OP weapons. I'm going to leave that off because I think that's the fun of a randomizer. But if you don't want OP weapons early, you can disable it. Same with no OP shields. No OP armor. Now, these are essentially just a case of if I change that. So, no armor above 60 defense or magic defense will appear in the shop. So, you could leave that all the way at the bottom for above 20. That basically means you're limited to only starting stuff. No expensive stuff, so nothing with a value of over like 1,000 gil, all the way up to 61,202 gil. But again, I'm going to leave all that off because I just think it's more fun with complete randomness, you know? And then, of course, you can randomize the bazaar as well. You can also randomize how many items the bazaar needs. So we can start on one of each item, or we can go 99 of each. And then we can also randomize their price, basically. But again, I'm just gonna leave that, to be honest, because I don't really use the bazaar in 12. And then we have treasures. So randomize treasures, randomize the spawn chance of treasures, the gil chance, the gil amount, the item, the common item 2, the diamond armlet items, and so on and so forth. You can literally just completely randomize this, and it gets batshit insane. So let's just go ahead and max all of this. Like, I'm not even putting the smart triggers on because I want this randomizer to be absolutely batshit insane, okay? Randomize rewards, this is the story rewards and whatnot. Now, we can get gil from rewards, but I don't want to do that. I want items, basically. And we're just going to leave teleport off. So I'm basically always, you know, going to get an item. Pretty much from rewards. In fact, you know what? No, I'm gonna turn that off as well. We'll just let that be completely random, basically. And then we have licenses. So randomize augment licenses and include bad augments, which it's going to be fun, you know? It's going to be fun. Randomize equipment licenses. So this is changes equipment on the license. Flags below only take effect if this is on. So randomize all equipment types together. So we can have swords, daggers, heavy armor, etc. all together on the same grid. In other words, I could mess this up now and my Vaughn could only have weapon equipment, basically. Like, he couldn't even equip an accessory or anything like that. And then we can change the number per license. So we could get a license that allows me to use like 8 different pieces of equipment, pretty much, you know. So it's gonna be funny. And then again with the item abilities, literally the same as we just had there. And you can also randomize the LP costs, pretty much. So we're gonna completely randomize that too. Moving on to augment licenses, we can actually change all of the stats, okay? We can change all of the stats, which I am completely going to because, you know, why not? It's fun. So we're just going to maximize these. So we got magic, strength, well, battle lore, shield block, swiftness for speed, channeling, potion laws, ether laws, and phoenix laws. Max them out, baby. Max them out. And then, last but not least, we have the license boards. And this is where things get a little interesting, okay? So, we can use a single board. So all boards use a board based on the original PS2 board, aka all characters have the same board, basically. We can use a random maze layout. So essentially, it's a single tile path, but it's a maze. So you could go literally anywhere you wanted. Or we could do specialized boards where, you know, it's like sword and black magics, white magics, and so on and so forth. We're not going to do any of them. Instead, we are going to enable new license board names just for shits and giggles. So this is where the license board will come up with their own unique name based on the licenses on the board. We could use randomized suggested boards. So each board will show the suggested character in order to be selected. This is not forced. I'm going to turn that on because even though it suggests what to do, we don't have to follow that suggestion. So it could just be funny seeing how far we go out of the way with that. And then randomize licenses. So randomizes which licenses appear. And then if you enable that, you can choose these as well. So we can actually force like all the boards in that to have every accessory license. Same with Gambit licenses and Esper licenses. So basically our boards now are just jacked. They are jacked, okay? They are massive. And then just below that, we can do low to high, where licenses are arranged from low to high LP cost, centered on essentials. So basically, lower cost, like tiles on the board, are going to be around your starting position. As you move further away, they get more expensive. Defeats the purpose of a randomizer. I don't care if I get blocked in. We're going to disable that. And then we have randomized layout, where the entire layout and the shape completely random. So of course we're going to go with that for shits and giggles. And that's it. Like, we've just done all these changes now. So, how do we install the randomizer? Like, how do we actually... Oh, excuse me. How do we get all these changes onto the game? Really simple. Down here in the bottom right, all you have to do is click randomize. If you only want to randomize music, click randomize music only. If you already have an existing randomizer file and you want to reinstall that, click existing randomize patch. And last but not least, if you don't want to play the randomizer anymore, you want to completely remove all the random files, just click uninstall. So we've done our changes. Now we want to install the actual randomizer. So we're going to hit randomize. We haven't extracted the normal music files yet. Okay. So what we need to do now is I need to find my Zodiac Age install folder, basically. And this is really simple to find. It is always going to be in your Steam library. So for me, it's going to be on my my SSD. So Steam library, we're going to go down to Steam apps, common, and then here's the game. So I'm just going to select Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age right there. We're going to hit OK. And as you can see now, it is installing the actual randomizer. This is patching all of the different files, okay? This is all of the different files that are being patched right now. Depending on how many changes you make, it could take a little bit of time, and it will depend on your hardware as well for how fast this can go. So it could be fast, could be slow, luck of the draw. And then with that, as you can see right here, complete. Randomization complete. This version of this randomizer is 1.8.2. The folder can be found in the same location as this program. So right there, we've got the actual folder and the randomizer. I do believe that is the seed number right there. So if you want to use the same seed as I just did, I think all you have to do is type in that seed value. And then all we have to do, would you like to install this mod now? Yes. And once again, we just have to choose the FF12 Zodiac Age. So that's already selected for me, so I'm just going to go ahead and click OK. And now this is the full patch. What we did before was the music. This is everything, basically, okay? This is all the changes we've just done. It is completely changing all of the files in the game right now that we've just messed with. And there we go, installation complete. You are ready to play the randomizer. All you got to do now is load the game up. And that's all, guys. That's literally all you have to do. So we're going to go ahead and click OK. And there we go, guys. That is how you install the FF12 randomizer and also some of the features of the randomizer. If you want to see it in action, again, link down below in the description. Come check me out on Twitch. We're going to be playing this tonight. I'm also going to be trying my first ever drink of straight whiskey, which is probably gonna... It's probably gonna end in memes. Yeah, it's probably gonna end in memes. Like I've never drank whiskey before, so that's gonna be fun, as well as the pure randomness from this mod. But though, guys, that is gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope you enjoy the randomizer as well. If you did, then make sure you hit that like button and leave a comment down below. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more content. I do tons of Final Fantasy mods, randomizers, literally anything to do with Final Fantasy you will probably find on this channel. As always though, everybody, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.